What's up, everybody? My name is Parasite. Welcome to FM22 and the Data Analyst with Leicester. This is going to be a one-season save where we look to use the new data hub, analytics, and tactical theory to personalize our tactic for every single team we face. Typically, like you and I, will use 1, 2, maybe 3 tactics, depending on home or away, big team or little team. But this is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to determine just how important tactical familiarity is, as I'm going to use a different tactic for every single game. It'll be like the instructions will be the same, but the shape, the roles, the personnel even will be personalized for each team that we're facing and the tactic they're playing to try to neutralize what they do and accentuate what we can do against them. So it's just kind of it's a money ball thing. It's a money ball save where we look to use analytics to the best of their ability. I really want to get into the new data hub and see how they can help me, win football games. So that's the whole premise of this save. Like I said, it's going to be one season, but I'm going to do quite a few games this season. I don't want to do like I usually do and only play like 5, 6, 7, 8 games for a season. I want to play as many games as I can really get in the season. I can play every single game, obviously, because that would take forever. But I'll play all the big games, some of the interesting games. I think it'll depend on what interesting tactics we're facing. If we have any interesting decisions to make based on their tactic, then I'll definitely come back for those games and we can kind of talk through the tactical theory that goes around it and the decisions I'm making for each tactic that I'm facing. And so we're going to do that today for the first time against Manchester City. Obviously, this is the first game of the season, the first competitive game of the season. So we don't have the data hub available. It needs, 3 or 4 games after 3 matches. It's estimated availability, so we can't use the data hub right now. But for this one, we're just going to use mostly tactical theory and a little bit of personnel based on what they're putting out, determine our own personnel. So we'll use that to determine the tactic for this game. I've got 3 kind of basic ideas in terms of what I want to do. I've got a wide formation, which I've used in preseason against different teams. This is kind of how the last one looked. So we're doing asymmetrical, everything like that, just to personalize ourselves to stop what they're trying to do. So got a wide one with the 4 at the back, got a narrow with 4 at the back, and we've got a 5 at the back with wide center backs, but we might not always use wide center backs. Depends on what we need. If we need more depth or more overlapping, maybe we'll use a wide center back. But if we need just 3 guys to hold the back end and not get counterattacked on constantly, we might just use ball-playing defenders or central defenders. So everything's going to change based on what I can see in the other team. So start off, we're playing Man City in the Community Shield. This is the shape they're going with. So basically, this is the first thing I'll look at in terms to determine my shape, my roles. I want to see what their roles are going to be. I want to see where their shape's going to be. So obviously, they've got 2 inverted wingers and a false 9. Mazzala, deep line playmaker. So one of my theories in terms of the tactical theory, one of my principles really is always man mark their playmaker. Get their playmaker out of the game. Frustrate him. Just cut the service to the playmaker and cut down on the amount of time that he has individually to make passes, and you can just kind of kill their attack. So I'll be looking to always man mark their playmaker no matter where he's at on the pitch. And I want to try to also, kind of building on that, I want to try to get my playmaker into as much space as I can. So if I could play a defensive midfielder in this game as a playmaker, I'm going to do that because there's no one directly to mark him unless the false 9 comes all the way back. Then he's got 2 center backs wide open that he can pass to, and they can make plays from back there. So it's just about pulling their players out of position or finding the gaps in their tactic that you can, get time in and make the plays from. So that's kind of the idea. And also another part of the idea of the tactical theory is that basically how you play defensively in terms of your center back numbers at center back, 2 or 3, is kind of dependent on how many strikers they have. So typically, you want to have 1 more center back than they have strikers. So if they just have 1 striker, I want to go 2 center backs. If they have 2 strikers, I want to go 3 center backs. If they have 3 strikers, I'm going to go 3 center backs. So I am breaking that a little bit today as they are only playing 1 striker, but they have 2 inverted wingers. So they have everyone. You really want to kind of determine where the players want to be. They're all wanting to cut in and come into the box and be around the edges of the box or through the middle of the box in terms of Torres. So that's where you want to put your defenders. So I'm actually going to go with 3 center backs today. I've looked at this a little bit, just kind of get an idea. I think this is the shape I'm going to use. 3 center backs so they can deal with the inverted wingers, inverted winger, false 9, and also I've got a defensive midfielder who can sit in the space he can be a playmaker, and he can playmake from down here, and he have no one to directly mark him, so he should be fine in terms of getting time on the ball and the time to find the passes. So he's going to play there. Wingbacks, since they're playing, let's go back to the inbox. They're playing a complete wingback on the right. I definitely want that wingback to be probably defensive because they're going to be really looking to overload that side. So our left center back or left fullback should be on defend, I think. I'm going to change it to wingback on defend. And the other one, I'm going to put it a wingback on support because the other wingback is just a wingback. So he's still going to look to get forward, just not quite as much as the right wingback. So I'll be a little bit less defensive with that side, but I still want to be a little defensive just because they are looking to overload on the wings a little bit for us. And so their deep lying playmaker is also going to be on the left-hand side of the midfield, or the right-hand side of the midfield. So we want our left midfielder to be our ball winner, which he's box-to-box right now. I mean, he doesn't have to be necessarily put as a ball-winning midfielder. It's just I'm going to have him man-mark the playmaker. So it doesn't really matter what his role is. He's still going to do that defensively. So really this role I'm telling him to do is what I want him to do in the attack. And I think what I want him to do in the attack is kind of get into the box, provide another option, because we only have the two strikers. We don't have any wingers. We're kind of limited in terms of players getting into the box. So I want him getting into the box on the attack, and defensively he'll man-mark their playmaker. My other one, since I'm having a deeper playmaker, I don't like using two playmakers. So this isn't going to be a playmaker. I think Mazzala is the best role. Mazzala is one of my favorite roles in the game, and you definitely want this player getting forward. So I could even go Mazzala attack, and I might even go Mazzala attack, just so I can get extra numbers forward. And in terms of the striker pairing, since there's no attacking mid, I want one of my strikers coming a little bit deeper. I know Jamie Vardy can play pressing forward, and I'm actually going to play him on support. He might not be the best at support. He's probably better at attack, but I want him to be a little bit more supportive, dropping a little bit deeper, combining with Mazzala, just so I don't have such a gap between my strike and my midfield. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. Wide center backs, I think, are fine for this game. They've got only two center backs. If this wing back is really far forward, I can definitely do an overlap with the fullback and the wide center back. So I can kind of overload this right back, hopefully, a little bit, because I don't know how far back their wingers are going to get in terms of defensively. So I do think wide center backs is a good idea. I'm going to start them on support. If I see I need them to be more attacking, I'll put them on attack. So let's pick out the squad we're going to go with. So Schmeichel's definitely going to go in net. Right back is a defensive right back. I think our best defensive right back is either a Marty. It might just be I clicked the wrong one. I clicked center back, didn't I? Right back. I think it might just be Ricardo Pereira. He's very good, well-rounded player. He's 16 tackling. Better than Castagne. Much better than Castagne. Obviously better than Albright and better than a Marty. So I think I'll play Ricardo Pereira there. I could also play Ndidi there, but I wanted to man-mark the playmaker. So I want this to be Ndidi. So left back, we're going to go with someone that's a little bit more attacking. We don't have many options because we have quite a few injuries right now. So it's going to be Ryan Bertrand. In terms of the center backs, the wide playmakers, let's actually look at what their expected lineup is going to be. So they're looking for Ferran Torres up top, Grealish and Silva cutting in. So I don't need tall center backs. I actually need quick center backs because they have pretty quick players, really good technical players. So the middle one, I think I want to be Johnny Evans if he's fit. He's not fit. He will not be fit for the match. So 2 to 5 weeks. He's not going to play. So I think I want either Fofana. I think I want Fofana in the middle. I want a Marty on the right. I don't really want to play Vestergaard because he's just too slow. He's a striker. He's a tall center back, so I don't really need him. I'll play Soyuncu on the left. That'll be our center back pairing. Our deep line playmaker is going to be Yuri Tielemans. He's the best playmaker in the team. I might not always play him when you play an attacking midfielder just because we have what's his name, James Madison, who's a really good playmaker as well, who's going to play in this Mazzala role. But anything deeper in the midfield, I'm going to play Tielemans as the playmaker there. Our box-to-box is obviously going to be Ndidi. Up top, I am bringing in a couple more players because I needed to make a couple signings. I'll go over the signings real quick. So the first signing we made, those are the ones that are going to be coming in. The one signing we made was Marcus Edwards from Victoria, 23 raised to 24 million. I needed a left-footed winger because I have a lot of right-footed wingers. I didn't have a single left-footed winger at the club. And if I want to play inside forwards or inverted wingers on the right-hand side, I needed a left footer. So Marcus Edwards has come in to take up that mantle. He's English, which is perfect. So he's a great signing, and we're looking to get in another backup for him. I don't have any registration spots left, though, so I have to be under 20. So Amad Diallo's coming in on loan. Be the backup left-footed winger. Can play deeper in the midfield. Can play up top. Can play attacking midfield. Can play striker. Can't really play on the left, but I'll probably train him to play there because I might need him to play there as a winger. So he's coming in. And also, I wanted a target man. We don't really have the money to buy a target man. And we don't have the registration spot to register a target man that's over 20. So I had to find someone under 20 years old that's good enough as a target man to be startable. And I think I'm going to go with Roberto Piccoli. He's not amazing, but he's a solid player. 6'3", 15 jumping reach, 15 heading. He's a decent target forward. Not target man anymore, target forward. He's a decent target forward. And if I think I really want to take advantage of some really short center backs, I might go with Piccoli in there. But let's look at their center backs for this game. I think it's going to be Laporte and Diaz. They are not small. Diaz, 6'1", but 16 jumping reach. Laporte, 6'2", I think. 6'3" even, with 16 jumping reach. So there's no reason to start him. I might as well start our quick striker. So Vardy will play the pressing forward, and Daka will play the advanced forward. And that's going to be the lineup. I'll wait until we get into match time to determine any new tactic or any new instructions I want to use. So I will adapt them a bit to the team as well. It's not just the shape. It's not just the roles. It's also the instructions. It's going to mainly stay as it is. Like all three tactics use almost exactly the same instructions. The only difference is where I'm distributing the ball to center backs or to full backs. So I want to keep that the same just so there's a little bit of tactical familiarity. But I need to change it up for each team I play too. Because if they have really tall center backs and we've got the really fast strikers, I definitely want low crosses. If they have really short center backs, I'm putting in my target man, I want floated crosses. I don't know if I'll change much here in terms of the attack in possession. I might pass into space if they have really slow center backs, really slow defenders. I might be more expressive if they don't have a whole lot of defensive midfielders that can really win the balls off of us. And we have more time to be on the ball and find these big passes. Play for set pieces maybe if I think that's going to be a possibility. Obviously, I might want to. I don't know if I'll ever change the in transition either. Just where I'm distributing maybe, but I don't really want to ever not go counter press or counter. This is a tactic I used very successfully in FM21. I'm curious to see if it's going to be as good in FM22 because it does require a lot of running. It's a very high intensity tactic. I'm playing extremely high tempo, and I'm triggering the press much more often with a high line of engagement and a little higher defensive line, and I'm getting stuck in. This is very physical, very intense tactics. I don't know if it's going to work in FM22, but I'm going to give it a try. I mean, I know it really works in FM21 because it was I was able to be successful with a lot of different teams using the same tactic. I know it's a good tactic. I just don't know if it's good in FM22, so we'll see. Some of these can definitely change if I need to lower the defensive line if they have a really tall striker, or if they have a really fast striker, or raise the defensive line if they have a really tall, slow striker. They're obviously playing a false 9 in this next match, so I might go with a higher defensive line just to give the false 9 less room to kind of fall back into. Like by shrinking the lines together, there's less space for him to find. He could still try to go, on the end of balls, on through balls, but I still think it might be a good idea to play a very high defensive line. And then pressing, I don't think is really going to change. Short goalkeeper distribution, I don't think it's going to change. Defensive width might change. So yeah, that's just based on what we see. But that's going to be most of it for this tactic right now. I will see you when we're on game day, and we'll make any small adjustments we need to make. And then we can play our first match with Leicester in the Data Analyst. We are here on game day, and unfortunately we've had an injury in between when we last here in this game. So Yonshu got injured. He's out for 2 to 3 weeks with a back strain. So he was playing left wide center back. I've brought in Castagne to play that. He's 6'1", so he's decent in the air. He's not a great defender. 9 heading, 11 marking, 12 tackling, but he's a pretty good wide center back. Like he can do the role really, really well. He's got an okay left foot, and he's 6'1". So that's mostly the thing I'm looking for. Someone that's at least tall enough to kind of play center back. Bertrand can also play center back, but he's only 5'10". He's a little better defensively, but I don't know about Bertrand. I don't know if I can put a 5'10" center back with 8 jumping reach in there, even though he's playing wide center back. If Castagne doesn't work, I could definitely make that switch, but this is what I'm going to go with now. And this is the squad. On the bench, I brought in Bankovic, Albrighton to play right wing back in case I need him to, or right wing in case we have to change the formation. Luke Thomas, Sumare, Barnes, Chowdhury. Actually, switch. No, I think that's fine. And Ahianacho. So that's going to be the squad. In terms of the opposition, they're going with kind of what we expected. I don't know if they had Mahrez as the starter before, but he is starting on the right. So they're definitely going to have inverted wingers. They're going to have Torres as a false 9. So I want to never trigger the press on Ferran Torres. I don't want to mark him tightly either. Let him drop deep and just pick up the ball, and hopefully our defensive midfielder can kind of stop him from doing anything. But I don't want our center backs to follow him and leave space for the inverted wingers in behind. So that's what I'm going to do for the opposition report. So basically, their playmaker is going to be Bernardo Silva on the right. So our left center mid should be our one that is indeed. He's going to be our one that's going to mark, not player. I want mark position. I also want to make this just for next match only because I don't want to have it on every single time and forget to change it. So mark specific position, mid center right. He's man marking their playmaker. They've got Renato Sanchez in the other spot. He's probably going to play like a Mazzala role, so I'm not too concerned about him. Fernandinho is not going to be a playmaker. He's a defensive midfielder, so we don't need to really have anyone to specifically mark him. He'll be put in a lot of space, and he's got decent passing, but they're not going to look to get the ball into him at all times, so I think I'm okay. They are going with Cancelo on the right, Mendy on the left, Laporte and Diaz just ahead of Carson, so Scott Carson starting this match. That's interesting. Let's press Scott Carson. I don't know how good he is on the ball. Let's just go everything on Scott Carson. Because it's Scott Carson. So I think that's it. I think that's the only things we need to change and stay unbalanced. In terms of their opposition, in terms of their center backs, they're going with what we expected, Laporte and Diaz. So they're big and fast. So there's not really anything specifically I should do. I think low crosses is going to be the better choice because I have such fast strikers. I don't think I want to change anything else. I think that's what I want to go with. So this is the team. Castagna just coming back from just getting into full fitness. So I don't know if he can last the full match. I don't really want to bring on Bankovic because he's so slow, but he's 12 pace. I mean, that's okay. So he could probably come on if I need him to. Like I said, I could play Bertrand there if I needed to. Move Luke Thomas there. Once, what is his name? James Justin is back from injury. He can also play center back, and he's actually better than Castagna at it. But he's out 2 to 3 months. So we'll have to wait a little bit for James Justin. He could definitely play that wide center back as well. Johnny Evans, we could play in the midfield and play Fofana as a wide center back, but we just, because of injuries, don't have a whole lot of options. So this is what we're going to go with. I think that's all I want to change. I've done my set pieces. I'll show you them real quick. So our corners, defending corners, I have it set like this. Best man in the air, near post center, 6-yard box near center. Second best, 6-yard box near post. Third best, 6-yard box far post. And your fourth best is the center of the 6-yard box. Your best player really on the ball in terms of pace and dribbling and acceleration, maybe passing, be this on the edge of the area, and then everyone else is just going back. Same for both sides. In attack, I'm doing our near post corner that we had for FM21. Best header on the look at near post. Second best, attacking near post. Your striker that's best in the air, attacking the far post. Another player just in the box, creating a distraction. And the defensive midfielder, attacking from the edge. Actually, I might do the center back attacking from the edge, because they do occasionally get headers. So I think the center back would be better there than the defensive midfielder. And someone else looking on the edge of the area. That's going to be Jamie Vardy for this. Where do I want to switch him in? What's his long shots like? Pretty decent. I'll go with Vardy there. And left side should be the same. Switch them around. Actually, I had Jamie Vardy attacking the edge of the area. That might not be a bad idea. Let's go like this. Let's just do that. Let's see how that works with Jamie Vardy on the edge. That's our defensive set piece, and everything else is kind of standard. I didn't change free kicks or throw-ins. We don't really have a throw-in taker, so I'm not going to do long throws. So yeah, let's play our first match of the Data Analyst, the FA Community Shield against Manchester City. I'm going to say we're the underdogs today, but that suits us. Go and cause a few surprises. No reaction, but tell them I have faith. Doesn't matter which FM it is, faith always works. Not the greatest this time, because they don't really trust us yet, but Once we get their approval, then they'll really start to react. You're about to take charge of your first match as Leicester manager. Can you sum up your feelings on an occasion like this? I've had a lot of time to get myself ready for this, and I just want to get it started now. How big of an absence is Saglar Yunchu? I mean, he's a big loss both on and off the pitch, and he's certainly not going to be easier to replace him. Do you agree with Sean Dyche's decision to put James Tarkowski on the transfer list? I'm not really for me to say. Anything could have gone on behind the scenes to lead to Sean taking those measures. It's not my place to say. I mean, obviously, I'm not controlling their team. They have to make the decisions they want to make, so whatever. I mean, I'm not going to go for him, so I'm not going to act like I'm interested. All right, let's see the new match engine. I do like there's so many more boxes you can actually look at in the, touchline tablet. I actually might want to change make sure this is the same. Okay, this all the way down, all the way up. Key highlights, a little bit faster. Looks good. And these, what do I want to change? I mean, let's go with this for now. I don't think there's anything I necessarily want to change here. I definitely want their formation, definitely want their stats. So let's just go. I'm really surprised they're starting Scott Carson over Zach Steffen at least. Like, if you're going to play a backup goalkeeper, play the better one. I don't know. This is also a ridiculous kit clash. Like, you can barely tell the difference. It's light blue versus light blue. Don't know who chose these kits, but it was a terrible idea. Nacho Sanchez now. He is playing that Mazzala, I'm assuming, because he's so wide. Grealish. That will probably cause us one or two problems. Hopefully the defensive midfielder can kind of help out. They are looking for the overlaps with Mindy. Madison gets back to help, though. Stanye clears. To Daka. I don't think we're going to be able to go on a counterattack. They got plenty of men back, but Daka is very fast. You can look for Jamie Vardy in the middle. Oh, that's not even close. Vardy's going to get it, though. Bertrand, Ndidi, Castagne. Some nice plays. Wide center backs in action. Back to... Oh, come on. Got to do better there, Daka. Daka was just not very good, that attack. Madison. I can barely tell which team's which. This is terrible. I mean, just the shorts is the only thing that can tell them apart by. I really want to watch these wide cinematics. My first time seeing them in action. And it's pretty good. I mean, I like the positions they're getting in. Jamie Vardy's not really going to win that. I told him to do low crosses, but he goes for a high one anyways. But Bertrand, see if he can put in a cross to Ndidi. Castagne is that wide center back. Cutting inside, actually. Playing like an inverted center back. Maybe that should be a thing next FM. Inverted center backs. I mean, it's not out of the realm. It could make sense. Grealish with the corner. Looking for someone at the back post, but Amarty heads it clear. Ruben Diaz is going to pick it up, though. Need to close down Grealish on the edge of the area, because he can definitely put out a good shot. Going to go to Grealish. Stop the ball in. Bernardo Silva. Ndidi. He's supposed to be main marking Bernardo Silva, but we got someone else there helping him out. Yuri Tielemans is there, so it works. It all works out in the end. And it's going to be 35 minutes and a very even game so far. We've had the higher XG. They've had one more shot, but they don't have a shot on target. They've got the slight possession lead. Average rating, they have the slight lead. But it goes into halftime 0-0. So Ferland Mendy's putting in a lot of crosses. I mean, we've had the slightly better XG. Both had a really good chance pretty early. Let's look at some of the stats. So Laporte is completing 100% of his passes. Diaz 97%. A lot of it is coming from their center backs. They have a lot of passes between the two of them. I'm not against that. I mean, if they're going to pass the ball, I'd rather them do more passing in the defense than in the attacking area. Torres only has 18 attempted passes. The pass completion is ridiculous, though. Sanchez is the only one under 90%, except for Cancelo and the goalkeeper. Crosses, Mahrez, Silva. Bernardo Silva could be doing a lot more crosses. João Cancelo not doing as many as I thought, because he's playing complete wingback. It's all going down Ferland Mendy. Maybe I need a little bit more defensive on the left-hand side now, because he's getting so far forward. See how our players are doing. Pass completion is pretty good. Not very good from Ndidi, but you're not expected to be very good, so kind of not very good enough by passing Daka, but Tielemans is doing a good job. Vardy's doing a good job. Uh, Looks like we're also doing a lot more passes in our defense. Midfield's getting decently involved. Yuri Tielemans, I like Yuri Tielemans getting very involved as that defensive midfielder. I think we're just both playing about the same kind of game. In terms of crosses, Pereira, Madison, so Bertrand's not even getting that far forward and putting in many crosses, so I think I might play him on defend. Just trying to defend against the Mendy overlap. And Didi's actually put in a decent number of crosses. And Patsandaka, those weren't great, but he did put in some crosses. All right. Analytical data, shot map, Castagne, Marty. Guessing those are headers. And Jamie Vardy. They've had more shots, but none of them have been on target, I guess. Off target, hit woodwork, blocked, blocked. In terms of average position, looks like they're pretty much being held back in their own end for the most part. Like, Ferran Torres is playing pretty close to the center of the pitch. We're getting a little bit more advanced. And it's just really competitive. It's the really close game. Carter Pereira, the best performer on our team. The struggle to perform is Jamie Vardy. I don't think there's anything else I want to look for here. Let's go into the dressing room. How can I tell them it's been an even match? They've not been unlucky. I guess I'm proud of everyone's effort. Proud of everyone's effort so far. Keep going. We can win this. Keep going. You have the ability to make a difference today. Go and prove it. I do like the new team talks, new suggestions that you can use. To make that change with Ryan Bertrand, play him on defend. Pereira's got a little bit of a knock, potential groin injury. Could bring on Brighton. He's not very good defensively. Don't really have many other options at right back except bringing on Castagne and bringing Bankovic into the defense, but don't know if I want to do that either. I could put Ndidi there and bring on like Chowdhury. I might actually do that. Or I don't want to risk Pereira. I'm going to try Ndidi there. Oh, he can't play as the wing back. He can play right back. He can't even play right back. I thought he could play right back. Never mind. I'm going to leave him out there then. I don't really want to bring in Bankovic. I don't really want to bring on Albrighton right now. I might actually switch him to support because he seems to be getting forward more often and they don't seem to be attacking. I mean, the reason they aren't attacking that much is probably because he's on defend, actually. I'll keep him on defend. Both wingbacks on defend. We need to, a draw with Man City. Obviously, this is going to go to extra time and penalties, but draw with Man City in 90 minutes is a pretty good result. So let's go. Start the second half. Looks like they have not made any personnel changes. Nope, no personnel changes. So everything's to be expected. I don't know if I need this report. What else? What would I rather use there? Shot maps. I mean, once we get league tables, I'll probably put the league table there and the latest scores on the bottom. I think that makes the most sense. XG match story. I want this to be dug out. There. We can go with that for now. But yeah, I will put the league table here, I think. Latest scores here. I think that makes the most sense. Dug out down here. Let's go. I want this to be a little bit more. It's okay if I have to scroll a little bit for this. I want to keep these, though. Running Ake. Is he playing right back? Put Mendy at right back. Ake at left back. Grealish has come off for Rodrigo. How did they change that up? Silva's... Okay, Rodrigo's the center mid. So they don't have a playmaker now. Mars is playing on the left as an inside forward. Interesting. So, I think... How do I change up against this? Mendy obviously is going to be cutting inside a little bit more because he's left-footed, playing on the right-hand side. Maybe I don't need to be as defensive now. On either flanks, really. Let's put both our wingbacks on support again. I will bring in Albrighton now. And I'm going to move Tielemans. What side is the inside forward on? The left. So I'll move Tielemans over a little bit so I can help mark that inside forward. I'm not as worried about the inverted winger as I am the inside forward. So I'll put him over here to help out the inside forward a little bit more. I'm going to stop man marking because he's not a playmaker anymore. I'll keep NVIDIA in there for now. I might sub him out at some point. Tielemans has actually been terrible. I mean, Sumari could come in if I need him to, but 75 minutes. We kind of do need to make a change. I might bring in Harvey Barnes for Ndidi. Play with two more aggressive midfielders. Because I don't really need the defender anymore. Ndidi is relatively fit, though. I do like how it shows more of their fitness now. The hearts are actually like filled to different points. It's not just like 3 spots. A full, half, I guess 4. Full, half, like quarter, and then dead. What do I do? Sumari or Barnes? I think I want to bring in for Ndidi. Let's go Sumari. He's a little bit more defensive. He can play center mid support. Let's try that. Actually, let's keep him as a box-to-box. Someone that's a little bit more attacking. Actually, I don't think he's actually very attacking. 8 finishing, 8 long shots. Let's not do that then. Let's bring in Harvey Barnes. Can't play center midfield, but move him up as attacking midfielder maybe. Do need him to... I'm going to play him out of position. I want Harvey Barnes on the pitch. Two Mazzalas on attack. Let's try that. Confirm the changes. They have a corner. Bernardo Silva to take it. Marty heads it out. Vardy should be getting to that, but he's not. Cole Palmer is. Back to Ake. Laporte. Fernandinho. Rodri. Goes for the shot. It's a long shot by Rodri. That gives them the lead. 76 minutes in. They've done nothing. I mean, they have 12 shots. So they've had a much better second half. The second half has not been good enough for us. They've really dominated us the second half. I don't know why. I don't know how anything changed. They didn't change their formation. They didn't change their roles. They just started playing better. We didn't. Bernardo cutting in. Sanchez looking for another long shot. Not this time. 10 minutes left. I don't know how many subs we have. I think we might have 3 stoppages and 5 subs. I'm not sure. Could just be 3 since this is a cup competition. You're the team that's been terrible. Bring in Sumare. Or do I bring in an attacking midfielder? I mean, they have a defensive midfielder to mark him, but maybe just as like a shadow striker. I think I'm going to try that. Barnes going to go up here as a shadow striker. Tielemans over here. And switch with Sumare. He's going to go center mid support. Keep Mazzala attack. Try that. Go attacking with our wingbacks. Time to push up. Our wide center backs are going to go on attack. Alright. Let's try that. Albrighton with the throw. Daka. I mean, we haven't been able to get in behind the center backs at all. I mean, obviously they got 2 of the best center backs in the world. So I kind of can understand why, but... Let's go, Jamie Vardy. Mark Albrighton with the assist. Low cross to the near post. Jamie Vardy puts it in the back of the net. It is 1-1. Barnes out to Albrighton. Puts in the ball. Vardy ahead of his defender. Keeper's got to do better there. Scott Carson not covered himself in glory. Gonna move Madison back to support. Keep the wingbacks on attack, I think. I might put the wide center backs back on support. Do we have any more subs? We do have more subs. Is it straight to penalties? I think it's straight to penalties, isn't it? Let's look at our penalty takers. 4. He's not coming on. 8. Bertrand. 10. What about our center backs? 5. 7. 9. So I'm going to move Bertrand for Castagne. And then bring on Luke Thomas. Chowdhury, 8. Nacho's actually really good, I think. I think I'll take Patson Dak off. Not a good penalty taker. If I have another sub, it's going to be this one. Iheanacho comes on. Let's look at these guys. 8, 15. So definitely want James Madison on the pitch. All right. Even if it doesn't go straight to penalties, I think that's a decent team to have out there. Hassan hasn't done much today. They don't have tall players, so I'm not super worried about Bertrand being beat in the air. A little bit more worried about Madison, but not super worried about Bertrand. Albrighton with a good tackle. Not what you'd expect to see. Play him through. Oh, he's got to play the man through. That might be a red card. Nope, goes yellow. Say, it was close to being one of the last man. I mean, in the end, that's a good foul by him because he stops a really good counterattack. Thomas. Oh, Laporte gets to it first. Just don't allow a counterattack. Bertrand does well. I mean, we can be proud of this match. I think we played really well against Man City. Second half wasn't nearly as good as the first half was. But we have the higher XG. So we created better chances. We just didn't create as many of them. I mean, I don't care if they're going to shoot 20 times as long as they're only playing like 4 on target. All right, this is straight to penalties. Vardy. Okay, I'm going to change this up a bit. I don't like to always go our best penalty taker first. I like it to change depending on composure. So I'll go Albrighton. Then Vardy. Then Madison. Then Iheanacho. Then Bertrand. Then I think I'll go Sumare. Actually, I'd rather go Harvey Barnes there. Harvey Barnes. Sumare. Luke Thomas. Fofana. Marty. Schmeichel. You know, where's Marty at? Oh, Marty's actually not bad. 9. I want him over Fofana then. I still want Luke Thomas ahead of him, I think. Do I? I still like that. All right, penalties. You've done well to get this far. I'm very proud. Now give it one last go. I have faith. I have faith. I have faith. Penalties. In the first match of the Data Analyst, we're going to penalties in the Community Shield. Albright's going to be the first to take. Low composure, but shouldn't need it for this. Oh, of course he misses. Maybe I should have gone with our best penalty takers first. That's frustrating. Fernandinho's their first taker. He's going to score. Now I've got good penalty takers, though, so, I mean, I wanted to get the first one out of the way. I was hoping he'd score in a low-pressure situation, but he didn't. Now our good penalty takers are at Vardy. There we go. 1-1. Bernardo Silva. I mean, I'm sure he's really good at penalties. I'm sure he's got great composure. Yeah. Didn't expect him to miss that. Madison now. Good penalty taker, so we should be okay. And we are. Good pin. That was a very good pin. Cole Palmer. So that's a little bit of a big pressure situation for a young player. Come on, Schmeichel. I can't quite get there. We need Schmeichel to make a save. Iheanacho. He's like one of our best penalty takers. In the 4th spot. Came on just for this. And he scores it right in the corner. All right, we have to have a save now. We need to make one of the next 2 saves. Laporte's going to be the first. He is good composure. Might not have the best penalty taking, though. Come on, Schmeichel. Oh, what a pin. That was an absolute inch-perfect pin. Right into the top corner. Now we have a high-pressure situation with a player that doesn't have amazing composure. This is going to be tough. Ryan Bertrand comes up. I mean, if we lose to pins against Manchester City in the FA Community Shield, I think we can be proud. We played well to get here, and he misses it. Our 2 worst penalty takers of the 5 both missed, and Man City win the Community Shield. Not going to make him train tomorrow. Man, there's a lot of ones for disappointed. Should have not gone to penalties level. I'm proud of your efforts. I say I'm proud of that performance. At the end of the day, penalties are unpredictable, but we played well. I'm happy with the way we played. Created good chances. Stopped mostly what they were trying to do. I think they had a lot of long shots, a lot of low percentage opportunities. So I feel like our tactic worked. I feel like we did our job. We just lost in penalties. How do you feel in the immediate wake of such a disappointment? I'm proud. It wasn't to be today, but the future is definitely bright. What happened out there today? I mean, I don't like the result, but I did like a lot of what I saw out there. We will be fine for most. If we will be fine most of the time playing like that. Really pushed Man City all the way today. You must feel proud despite the result. Uh, at the end of the day, we took a much bigger club the distance. The players can be very proud of themselves today. Man City spend more money in a month than this team spends in their life. So we're only out 1 to 3 days. Is he gonna be back for the next match? I want to see when the next match is. Oh, it's against Liverpool. Great. Alright, he's gonna be fine. So next match we have Liverpool. Is that right? That's a great start to the season. Man City in the Community Shield, then Liverpool. I don't think I'm going to be back for that match, though. I want to come back in time to have the data hub like full of information. So I think I'm going to wait. The first game that the data hub is able to be used, which might be this Wolves match, will be when we come back. This one, obviously, we just used tactical theory. I will try to use a little bit more data next time, where their assists are coming from, where their goals conceded are coming from, all that. Use that data to try to, do a little bit of tweaks in the tactic. A lot of it will be due to the tactical theory, but changes in roles, a little bit slight changes in positions, changes in alignment. All that's going to be changed based on the data, based on everything I see in terms of analytics. So, yeah, that's the end of the first episode of the Data Analyst. I hope you enjoyed. I mean, we'll be doing plenty more of this now that FM22 is out. I'll be uploading about almost every single day. Mondays are the only days I might not upload, but every other day I should have a video out for you. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you're looking forward to it too. I think that's going to be the end of this episode, though. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. The links to all my socials and my Twitch are in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.